Possibly. Mechanics-wise, nuh-uh. Can't make the throws in tight windows? No. But, hey, can he limit turnovers? Yes. Will he help the running game? Yes. So, I think it may be a slight upgrade. But that defense is still atrocious. That special teams is alright. And that receiving core is still weak, even though they got a ton of yardage today in the receiving game. I get that, but still, I don't believe in the New York Jets. And I still don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. And they're lucky if they make the playoffs this year. They need a big transformation. They need a lot of help. And they need to and they really need to look within themselves and find their true identity. Now, I've been talking a lot about this game. I want to move on to the Oakland game. That game, I cannot believe. I'm still surprised with Oakland. I mean, I thought they should have won this one by a lot too. Say what you want about, they have Maurice Jones-Drew. They had Maurice Jones-Drew. They did this. They did that. They did this. They did that. They do a good job. Offensively, Blaine Gabbert's improving. This, and that. But last time I checked, Jacksonville doesn't have a good defense either. And it seemed like Oakland, for some odd reason, they didn't really, on offense, I thought they were going to score a lot more. They couldn't capitalize on certain opportunities. And then Jacksonville, Chad Henne? What's going on? I thought Chad Henne was better than that. Now, credit to Oakland with the fumble at the end and the defense at the end. But seriously, Oakland, where's the offense, Oakland? They could have racked up 35 in my mind. I don't think this I think both teams, but we already know, I don't think they're going to the playoffs. Oakland really, really has some problems. Same with Jacksonville, but you sincerely can't put up 35 points against Jacksonville's defense. Then we got some problems here, especially with Darren McFadden not getting a rhythm. I'm a little bit surprised on Oakland's part. And until they come to the realization that they need to find an identity. Look, we talk about it so much week in and week out. Do you have an identity? That's all. You can have a chance in every single football game if you have an identity and you don't commit penalties. It's always the little things, isn't it? Win the turnover battle. Don't commit penalties. Have an identity. It's always those things that separate you from pretender to contender. But it seems like Jacksonville and Oakland haven't come to that realization. Maybe it's because of maybe it's because of how many coaching changes that they have. I don't know. But you've got to they've got to find a way next season or however to finally regain and come back to solid football. And you know what? We're going to have to take a break. Sorry about that. We're going to have to take a break right now. Sorry about that. We'll be back in a moment. I saw the chat board. Thank you. We'll get back and respond to you. And Fizz, wait 1 second. But let's take a quick break. We still have a lot to talk about. I want to talk about a team in the Minnesota Vikings who don't get credited the way that they should. So I'll explain that. Please sit tight for 30 seconds. Okay, we are back here on the Cameron Sadeghi Show. Thank you. We had a guy named Fizz come on the chat board. Hey, you guys don't chat with us anymore. Sorry about that. I didn't mention that earlier. You can chat. There's a little green bubble the same way Fizz is doing as well. We hope that you can help us out. If you want to ask any questions or you have any concerns in regards to the NFL or you want to ask me anything, go right ahead. Just keep it in regard to the NFL, okay? That's all we ask for on the Cameron Sadeghi Show. And you can tweet me too, at SM_Cameron, or you can call 949-456-2911 to get your voice to be heard on this program. So keep all those options under your belt or keep them in check. So please be interactive. We like your thoughts. We like what you guys say on the program. Okay, Minnesota. Big time today. They, again, at home. We haven't been talking about them on the show. And I have to give a quick apology. I'm sorry about not talking about the Minnesota Vikings. We only have a certain limited time on the show. And I really have been not talking about the Minnesota Vikings. It's a shame. Because say what you want and say, oh, they have an easy schedule, everybody. They only face the Cardinals. They only face John Skelton. Well, you want to know something cool? You want to know something? They're 5-2. They're 5-2. That's all that matters, right? I can rant about opinions. I can rant about anything. I can say whatever I want. But if you are detracting and disregarding to what the Minnesota Vikings have done, you have not served justice in regards to Minnesota Vikings commentary. You just haven't. Because this is what I was talking about earlier. Having an identity, not committing penalties, not turning the football over. Well, the Vikings did a little bit of that today, but I'll explain in a moment. You've got, and I love how Leslie Frazier is the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. I can't talk about how much this guy means to this football team. He has changed the culture. He has changed what the Vikings and who the Vikings are. He's going to be one of those coaches in a few years we're going to be looking at and saying, hey, he's one of the best in the NFL. Because, honestly, I think I could put him as one of the best coaches in the NFC right now. This guy has a young squad, a young quarterback, and has led them to believe that they could beat anybody. Anybody. They go out there not turning the football over, putting it on the ground, making sure that they keep a balance, that they keep a steady attack, making sure that they get a good pass rush, making sure they get pressure on the quarterback, doing all of these things, converting on third down, converting on big plays when necessary. You could say, oh, they've gotten lucky. Oh, well, they don't have a star quarterback. Or, oh, well, they don't have a superstar team. Or, oh, well, they're not this, they're not that. Say all those things. Say all of it. But 5-2 is reality. 5-2 is all coaches care about and all what people care about. Well, what people should care about. 5-2. So, and they've got a bigger schedule up ahead. Minnesota has some things that they need to improve on. By the way, that music was playing in the background for some odd reason, and I'm not sure why it was, but that was not meant to be. But the inability of some of these teams that I just cannot believe I cannot believe that some of these teams have so many penalties. And you know what? It really shows the type of coach that you are. It shows who you are as a team. It shows your identity. It shows your personality. It shows your commitment to excellence. And when you, as a collective unit, cannot, when you cannot do anything penalties-wise, can't do anything of this nature, how do you think you're going to be successful? How? Minnesota, they've realized it. Ziggy Wolf putting, his faith in Mr. Oh my goodness, I just forgot the Vikings head coach. Leslie Frazier. Sorry about that. Putting his faith in Leslie Frazier. Establishing a star offensively in Peterson. Having a Christian Ponder who's making sure he's trying to turn it over less and less, even though he did today. And that happens as a second-year quarterback, and that's okay. So, I just want to see more of these type of teams. With the Rams, you see it a little bit. You see, Jeff Fisher trying to change the culture, and you can see it shows by their record. They're 3-4, and it seems like an improvement from last year. So I got to give them a little bit of credit from there. Okay, Miami Dolphins, they're they're all right. The Seattle Seahawks improving. They are finding an identity. When the San Francisco 49ers brought Jim Harbaugh last year, that was a culture change. I want to see teams do this. I hope they somehow, some way will do that. Just hoping. And please, just please, credit Minnesota. Very, very tough work. So, credit to them. Hard work. Give me your comments, questions, anything in regards to the NFL at SM_Cameron or call 949-456-2911. Or comment just like Fizz did on the chat board. There's a little green bubble on the right corner. Over there, you can give me your thoughts in regards to the NFL. Please, you got to give credit to Minnesota, and I think overall people will. I think in a few years this team could be an NFC Championship contender if they continue this route. And some of you are saying you're a prisoner of the moment. No, I'm not. I see a team that I believe really has a culture established, or on its way. My bad. Credit to Minnesota. Some of you saying, "Oh, you're talking about them for too long." It wouldn't do any justice if I don't talk about them for a long time, because I didn't talk about them for the past few weeks. Shame on me. I gotta talk about them more. Sorry, Minnesota fans. I'm talking about your team way more than I should. I'm in the future, I will talk about your team way more. Wow. You guys are impressive. We're going to take a little short break, and we're going to talk about the overall this week as we know it. It was a little, to me, it was all right. It was pretty solid week. Week 7 in the NFL.